coming to you live from Plug It Studios in beautiful Largo, Florida. We are keeping you plugged in with episode 244 of F5 Live.
This week, Sony's livin vida. Clearwire's losing money at light speed. And Nintendo's catching up to the big kids. Say, Nick, everything that's gone wrong so far this show is your fault.
We're getting funky, baby. Enjoy it.
Breaking it down a little bit. But, a little different music to start off with. But,
smells good.
Same great smell.
Indeed.
Emanating from all of our electronic equipment. Oddly enough, which happens to be technology.
You must be talking about that new tech smell. Because, Scott, I think this show right here.
This one here?
This one right here is part of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. I'm Nick.
I'm Scott.
And I'm John.
And we're here.
We are. Just the three of us.
By the grace of God.
And we're switching it up tonight.
Yeah, we got some different music.
Hey.
It was kind of a last-minute thing.
It's going to be a great show. I cannot assure you.
I am liking it already, though. I like this stuff.
Every day, every week,
I'm shuffling. No.
we have to pick.
Really?
You of all people?
That's a reference I wouldn't have expected from Scott.
Indeed.
I thought he would have murdered himself after hearing that song a couple times.
Oh, it is terrible, but it's funny.
Every week, we will pick new music to throw on the beginning here. We're going to change it up moving forward with F5 Live. But I need to say this. We're here.
Right here.
Sans one person with the long hair that might be dreaded up like Lil Wayne or cut off, I don't know. But whoever you may be and however you may be accessing our show, whether it be Facebook, iTunes, Zune, F5Live.tv, or of course any of the other generous versions of RSS programs that host our show. Thanks for making us part of your day. But of course, there is one place we want you to be, and that's chatting with us live in the studio every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, by going to f5live.tv/join us. This music's got me in the mood, baby. And of course, stay tuned in that chat room that you're in, exclusive to our live listeners. You can't find this on Zune, folks. The Epic Award-winning or iTunes, spine-chilling or Ustream, bone-tingling post-plug. Post-blogging into 2013. Chat with us live. We want to talk to you, our fans. What's up?
You can't get it on Roku either.
Oh, indeed. Occasionally Facebook.
Well, that's true. You can occasionally get it on Facebook. What?
Or on a different type of book.
I feel like I'm blasting off.
You are. So, my Valentine's Day was great. I spent it with a just-turned 2-year-old.
That happened.
It did
Very
happen.
good.
I totally forgot.
That's
about
what's
Valentine's
important to
Day.
me. Well, you just had a date. You shouldn't have forgotten
No.
about Valentine's Day.
That was before that.
Indeed, you should have had a second one on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it didn't quite happen like that.
I didn't think so.
That's
Nope.
not really how a second date should happen.
Yeah.
A
Valentine's
second
Day?
date shouldn't be on Valentine's Day.
You're right. The third one is so it can involve other activities.
Exactly.
Like Pong.
Yeah, you could steal home on a third date, I think. Isn't that usually the rule?
Just to clarify, we need to just point this out, especially after this entire conversation. 2 things. 1, we are a tech show.
Indeed.
We deliver tech news every Sunday night at 9 p.m. I thought we did this, techpodcastnetwork.com.
And it's here.
And 2, we are most certainly not a Christian station, although we do know people named Christian.
And we are
Slater.
a station.
Indeed.
We are a station.
And we are a station.
We
We are stationary, minus the chairs.
We aren't anti-Christian.
Indeed, we are rated A
For Audible.
and all ages.
Indeed. But yeah, it's certainly not an aspect of the show.
No,
I
no.
guess is the thing we should say.
I couldn't think of a Christian denomination that Episcopalian. There we go. Rated A for Episcopalian.
That's E.
That's E.
No, really?
Yep.
Oh,
It's Catholic Light.
yikes.
We are rated A for all
That's
religions.
like pneumonia.
A for all religions.
There you go.
There
So
we
we
are.
are not just a Christian station. We're also a Jewish station. And we do occasionally read out of the Quran from time to time.
That was apparently not the answer that was
Yeah.
expected.
All right, good deal.
You've just got to. La, 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 la.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I tried
So,
to breathe.
Let's talk
and
about
talk.
this.
Valentine's Day with a 2-year-old.
Yeah, the 2-year-old that
Sounds
now
grossly inappropriate.
You've been spending too much time with John.
indeed. The little one that spends most of his time with me now has turned 2 on Valentine's Day.
Like every year, or is
Every
that just
year.
this year?
Every
that he
year.
turned 2 on
I was gonna
Valentine's
say,
Day.
he seems surprised that it happened that way this year.
No, it was
Yeah.
exciting.
Because it happened that way this year, or because
Well,
he's now 2?
Yes,
You will,
because he's
you
now
will
2.
regret being excited about that pretty quick.
Well, here's my thought process. Because this little one will be spending so much time with me for the foreseeable future, and my girlfriend and I want to spend Valentine's Day together, we've decided that up until the age of 18, whether he likes to or not, we're going to have his birthday celebration with the family, regardless. He doesn't get an option to go out with his girlfriend on Valentine's Day. He won't get the option to go out with his friends because it's his birthday. No. Till he's 18, he's spending with us because we had to forego our Valentine's Day until Thursday, which doesn't really much matter. We went to a Lightning game. That was on Thursday.
That'll last.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't want to go with his girlfriend anyway because it's his birthday, so she has to give him something. And it's Valentine's Day, so he has to give her something. It just kind of cancels out. They would just sit there not talking to each other.
You know what? That might work then.
So the family birthday seems like the most plausible solution.
Exactly.
See?
So that's what's going to happen.
On your side, Liam.
That's
your
not a
side.
punishment. That's actually a bonus.
Whatever.
So,
He won't want to, though. He'll be like, oh, but I don't want to spend time with you guys. Well, too bad. We wasted years 0 through 12 having your birthday and Valentine's Day on the same day. Now you have to suffer.
It's like, well, I'm the best you've got, all right? So you
Precisely.
gotta deal with it.
So that was my thing. Other than that, John,
No,
no
nope,
current
nope,
update on
Nope, it's done.
you killed her.
No.
That usually takes
Well,
about a month.
Yeah. I had a conflict in my schedule. I had to push it up, you know. But
Nothing exciting then.
no.
Are you nervous?
What did you do, Scott? Please.
I have been editing CES videos still. That has been my week.
You know, we've discovered this week that wiring is not what we thought it was at all. Things are wired differently than they should be in real
Neither
life.
is wireless.
Indeed. That's true too.
We discovered that today. Yeah.
Apparently, and I'll just go off on a rant here. Apparently, some programs and some wires don't recognize that there is a left channel and a right channel. They believe that sometimes there could be a not left channel and a not right channel. And apparently,
They're somewhere back there.
yeah, but not in surround sound. So it's off in the abyss. And if you listen to it on a crappy iPhone or in Houston, or I don't know why.
Well, to be fair, the iPhone is fine so long as you're not using Podcatcher.
Yeah, or some crappy third-party place that also understands. I guess we are technically a religious station because there is a sect of audio and technology that recognizes the abyss as a known entity.
So it's like purgatory for
Yes.
for channels.
So apparently these third-party applications recognize the abyss and accept the audio into the abyss so that you do not hear it when we post it online to YouTube or wherever else. So we spent the 4 hours it was that I took and did some work to some of these audio files had to be redone twice to get them to work for all ages and all audiences. I do not want to be rated A anymore.
I don't
After
think
that
I don't
debacle.
think deaf people were complaining.
No.
It's true.
YouTube's closed captioning works pretty well for our shows. So enjoy that.
Hooray! We use words they know.
We use great diction.
Indeed.
No, really.
Enunciate.
Yes, we all the time like to speak clearly. We will have the online editorial director for Laptop Magazine, Avram Pilch.
I cannot wait to see the closed captioning on that.
On the show.
Because you know there are going to be more words than you said. It's going to put where your pauses were between syllables. It's going to break them into words.
Avram. But
that'll be fun.
For right now, we have a lot of show to get to.
Yes.
So we might as well do that. We have a lot of tech news. So let's start it now. This week's News from the Tubes on F5 Live is proudly powered by Riff Tracks. John?
The lovely people at Riff Tracks are showing their love to everyone this month by actually offering 15% off all their stuff, like every single one. That means their short films, their regular films, the things that you can sync instantly with Netflix. They take their own color commentary, if you will, insert it into the movie, allowing you to rekindle the relationship that you currently might have lost with movies. Because no one likes to go to the theater and wear pants or leave their house. But with Rift Tracks, you don't have to do any of those things.
Awesome.
All you got to do is go to f5live.tv and check out their stuff, get your 15% off, and get your Rift on.
Coupon code RIFFLOVE. RIFFLOVE.
Ooh, good stuff.
At f5live.tv, click in the link.
In the center.
Feels more natural that way.
It does.
Going that way. Because we don't have the alligator here.
Yeah, because that's the that's the left channel.
Exactly. Exactly.
What if the promo code got lost in the abyss?
You know, that would be awful.
That would be pretty awful.
Only if you have Podcatcher.
It would be also pretty awful if you were like a company that was bleeding money really, really badly.
Even when you have $1 billion of it. Yeah, Clearwire is still not okay. We've been talking about them for quite some time now. Sprint's largest
partner, I'd say.
Partner in their 4G carrier, their WiMAX technology holder, Clearwire, is not doing so well. We've been covering them for a couple of months now, and for about a year, they just can't seem to catch a break at all.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Sprint announced that their 4G technology moving into 2014 will be LTE of some sort, using possibly light squared, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Then we heard that Clearwire would skip on its upcoming debt payment of like $400 million. Then they lost 3 resellers with, what was it, Cox, Time Warner, and Verizon.
Nope, Comcast.
Comcast, there it was.
They lost them to Verizon.
And then Sprint said, you know what? We're your largest customer, largest partner. We're going to give you $600 million. Have fun with that. And they said, okay, great. We have $600 million. That's not enough. We're going to go ahead and try to find some more money.
It's closer.
Yep. And they raised another $400 million in cash and short-term investments in the past 2 months, giving them a total of $1.1 billion in cash in the past 2 months.
That's a lot of money.
That still isn't enough for them.
Oh, no.
They can get through the end of the year, but they still need to raise more money.
Wow.
They can get through the end of the year with the $1 billion they have.
Indeed.
But probably not past that.
But because of their reseller loss, they're going to lose 5% of their Clear brand growth. So the actual Clear service, not just the Clearwire technology.
That is painful.
This is not good for several reasons.
And several companies.
Indeed. You have Sprint that needs to capitalize on 4G yesterday.
Right.
They need to. WiMAX was a great idea, but it's not going to be the final resting place for their 4G service. WiMAX is going away. LTE needs to come into place, or some other 4G service. Clearwire might be doing that for them. They did say they will be spending $600 million, the same money that Sprint gave them. Let's just enjoy that for a minute here. Over the next 2 years on a new 4G LTE network that would put Sprint on a more level playing service with Verizon and with AT&T moving into the 4G world, the actual 4G world.
So long as they have access to it.
Indeed. Now,
Owning 80% of the company or whatever it is now, they probably have access to whatever they want. But
pretty much. Because Clearwire said that they have so much spectrum they want to sell it off, and they wanted to sell it to AT&T. And Sprint said, can't do that. Nice try. Because they own so much of the company, they have the right to say that. And they said, no, don't you dare, sir.
Yep, sleeping with the enemy.
So let's talk about the money that they're losing. They posted fourth quarter, $236 million loss.
That's not bad.
better than Sony.
Last year at this same time, $128 million in losses. So that's almost double.
Ooh, not good though.
Not better.
Revenue went up.
It's a bigger number.
Yeah. Revenue went up from $175 million
With a minus symbol.
to $361 million this quarter. Or this year, I'm sorry.
Oh, they're right on par with Groupon.
And more money will be coming to Clearwire. Sprint will be sending over another $600 million, this time as a payment for their WiMAX usage for the year. They pay them up front for the usage.
They may not normally pay them up front. They might
This time.
They might be doing it. Here is cash. Please stay in business.
It's possible. The good news
Although, if they go out of business, Sprint might be able to just buy the rest of it for that $600 million.
For the debt, yeah.
Get out.
Now, the good news is Clearwire isn't doing what other companies do when they're in trouble. They don't just keep spending money.
Going out of business.
They're not AIG. They don't just keep spending money. What they do is they cut costs, and they have done that. Last year's Q4 operating expenses was $1.2 billion. This year's Q4 expenses was $785 million. So they did reduce in cost.
But that's not necessarily a good thing,
right?
Because the easy place to cut that cost is in expansion.
That's true. That's true.
That's your easy cost cut. Oh, we'll stop building towers.
But it saves them money.
Or payroll.
Or payroll.
Payroll's another good place to cut some money short term.
I don't know.
No, not $400 million.
What are they? I mean, if they're not going to build any infrastructure out, what do they really need? Maybe like 20 people.
I was gonna say, with all the stores factored in, they can't have 1,000 employees.
So what does Sprint do? They own 80% of this company. They could own 100%. Or they could move.
I think it's actually like 65.
Yeah.
But
they still own a lot of it.
More than most.
They want to keep WiMAX to 2014. I think that'll happen. One way or another, Sprint will make that happen. They kind of need to support the devices.
I don't think they have a choice.
If their partner goes out of business, and they don't have the cash to buy them, there's nothing they can do about it.
I think they're going to try. Especially that you mentioned, I hadn't considered that they're sending over $600 million up front. That could be a one-time thing, just to give them enough boost to the end of the year and through the end of the year.
You gotta wonder. You gotta wonder how Dan Hesse feels when they cut Clearwire checks like that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that it's like a pleasant thing.
No, it can't
for them to send that out.
It can't be.
Wow.
So we mentioned that part of Sprint's plan was to eventually leave Clearwire as a partner. 2014 is when they were going to keep the partnership going.
Right.
They've extended that, or at least they're in talks to extend it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason for that is because Light Squared, the company that they were going to partner with for their LTE network, has been denied by the FCC to build an LTE network. Despite the fact that the FCC is the organization that told them originally that they were required to.
Yep. Isn't that great? Don't you love an unregulated company or association?
Yeah. Government adjacent organization.
That's a nice way to put it.
So the FCC, for those who don't know, is kind of a government organization and kind of not. They don't really answer to anybody. They are appointed by themselves, and they're in charge of everything, essentially.
Yeah.
They wanted to make themselves warlords over the internet. I mean,
they were going to try to buy Google.
They are
At one
essentially in charge of everything. So one of the thing that they're really supposed to be in charge of is spectrum. And so with Light Squared, they own a lot of it, and it is adjacent-ish to the GPS spectrum. And an organization did testing that determined that if this LTE network were to be built, that 75% of GPS signal would be affected.
I remember when they did those tests.
Now, here's the thing. If having spectrum adjacent to other spectrum was going to damage, you would never be able to have a broadcast station on 8 and 9.
Right. The only time that really applies is when you have an FM transmitter and you're trying to override your current 88.3.
Right. And it's not like it's even analog. It's digital. If the GPS system is so mismanaged and poorly built that it is able to be affected by semi-adjacent, and semi-adjacent in sarcasm quotes.
Yeah, massive.
It's not like they are actually touching. There is a massive gap between for emergency services. So if the national or international GPS system is really so poorly designed that it's able to be affected by something semi-adjacent, maybe that's the thing that needs to be looked at.
Here's my concern.
And not Light Squared.
Yeah. Here's my concern, if I may go here for a second. Bluetooth is a technology.
Indeed.
And the frequency changes umpteen times a second, 30 or 60 times a second. It changes frequency to keep a secure connection. If this GPS infrastructure is so, like you said, mismanaged, how easy is it to get the data and not be on, like, say, a triple trunking system or a frequency changing system to the point where semi-adjacent, massive sarcasm quotes, frequencies will interfere and lock on and not let go of that frequency because it's overriding it for whatever purpose? That kind of worries me for reasons that we don't even have time to get into tonight.
Yeah.
I'm in fear of my life at this point.
Here's the thing. Any wireless device that you have, and even things that don't have wireless built in, have a little sticker on the back that says, this device will cannot interfere with other frequencies. And we've got 3 wireless devices sitting right next to each other.
Indeed.
That are all, give or take, in the same frequency range. Oh, I'm sorry, 4.
4.
And then there are 5 more, a couple of feet to your right.
Yeah.
And they don't ever interfere.
And we got the Bluetooth on the phones.
Yep. But I mean, over there, we have got 5 devices that are all on the same frequency.
The only time
they don't interfere with each other.
The only time you see that happen is when you have one of those dragonflies at Radio Shack and you want to use the mouse.
Well,
those kind of go off crazy. And I also get the same thing when I
forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
When you have a wireless router in a room, right next to a wireless mouse, sometimes you'll get some cross interference. I get that upstairs in my apartment.
Yeah.
They are literally 1,000 times apart.
I tell you, it's crazy though.
That happens to me every time I use my router as a mouse pad.
On the 2.4, yeah, there you go.
Yep.
It's that close though, where the mouse is and where the router is for me. John,
wow.
You ass.
They're literally 1,000, more than 1,000 times apart.
It's the craziest thing.
They're 47. They're like 47 megahertz and 5.4
2.4
gigahertz
on one of the spectrums. Yeah, it's still far away, but it does say on the back of that sticker, this device can be overrided to not work.
Right. Cannot interfere with other devices, but can accept interference from other devices. GPSs are no different.
So it's the same thing.
Whatever. It's obviously a technology that was poorly implemented.
Or it's all BS.
Well, there's probably a lot of that.
Because they spent, what, $4 billion?
It is the FCC.
It's $4 billion on Light Squared before the FCC decided to change its mind. Right?
Yes.
The quote, the last sentence in the quote, hits it right on the head.
Yes. There can be no more devastating blow to private industry and confidence in the consistency of the FCC's decision-making process. Indeed.
You know, it's one of the few times that the FCC has been publicly attacked. And I think it needs to happen more. Honestly.
It happens a decent amount.
I remember when Eminem was talking about him.
We'll let him be.
Yeah.
Or that may be me. Fox went after him after the Super Bowl.
Indeed.
So it happens, but Family Guy goes after him.
All the time.
Fairly frequently.
There was a whole episode of American Dad.
FCC.
Mm-hmm. So, anyway.
This sucks for the private sector, I'll tell you that much.
It really sucks for Light Squared, who has spent a tremendous amount of money starting to build this network, only to be told, oh, nope, you can't do that.
With no burden to the taxpayer.
Right.
That's important here.
They've taken no public funding for this.
They've just done it.
Despite being ordered by the FCC to do it, they wouldn't take any money to do it.
And I think that's part of the backlash here.
Well, and the scary thing is there's no real recourse against the FCC.
Yeah, who do they answer to?
Seem to be above
Nobody.
the law.
Yeah, they don't answer to anybody. So, there we go.
Google will take them out. The only time I side with them. Moving on. Kicking it right over to let you know that this week's Nifty Gifties on F5 Live they are nifty.
They're nifty gifties.
Proudly powered by the Microsoft Store. Get a new Nokia Windows phone free with a 2-year activation on a fast-moving slide website known as the Microsoft Store. And look, the best software for home and homework
Indeed
is Microsoft Office 2010. If you don't have it yet, you need to buy it now. It's the only way to be productive. Who uses Google Docs anymore? Not this guy, and certainly, hopefully, not our listeners and viewers. So make sure you get over there. For students, small businesses, and developers.
Developers.
Free shipping on absolutely everything. No catch code, no code, no minimum. Do it now. Go to f5live.tv. Click the link.
In the center.
Boom.
Schnell.
Schnell.
They've made the free shipping text bigger.
Huh. Indeed they have.
Significantly bigger.
And you can see that at f5live.tv.
Clicking on the link.
In the center.
Ba-boosh.
Oh, it's like automatic. But free shipping may not be the case 18 years from now, but Sony has actually kind of tipped their hand about how they see the future of controlling your power over the next 18 years. And what they've come up with is a promo video that displays some prototype technology where apparently in the future everything is very white and plain and just kind of sad. And you can actually
accurate.
You can draw your television on the wall. But aside from that, they have they have some interesting power options, let's say. Basically what I'm talking about is a prototype electrical outlet or receptacle that's going to be a little different, a little unique in the sense that they think it's going to be a pay-as-you-go for electricity. So no longer will the power company, theoretically, have a monopoly on your life.
Oh, that's good.
If you have alternative sources of energy hooked up to your house, airport, office, wherever this may be happening, which isn't really the case very much right now. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have like a natural gas coming into my apartment complex.
But you should.
I should. Taco Tuesday helps, but it doesn't really carry you through the rest of the week. And solar panels, they're kind of like peppered into the power grid here and there. So as of today, there isn't a whole lot of other alternative energy options besides electricity. Now, maybe in 2030, things will be a lot different.
The world won't be here.
Wind farms in the Gulf.
Oh, I like that. I also like
Fact.
Hurricanes.
kittens. I think kittens are a great source of energy.
It's true. There's a whole paper on it.
And it would be well worth it on the displays for the power
Stray
receptacles
kittens, sir.
to be able to select kittens as an alternative power source. I think that would be fantastic. I'm going to submit that to Sony as a legitimate
Submit the whole paper.
idea.
Now,
We got it around here somewhere.
talk to me about what this technology is called, because it's interesting.
Okay. Well, the actual RFID technology in the devices is called Felica.
Ah,
Oh,
not Felica says?
Nope.
Oh.
I know. I was disappointed.
that is so disappointing.
I know. They had it so close too. We could call it that.
I like that. Let's
Okay.
go with a codename Felicia.
Okay. So Sony's new Felicia technology in these prototype house receptacles, basically it would work like this. You would want to watch TV. So you would go and through some sort of management app, theoretically on your phone or tablet, which would control your house
Vita.
in the future, or your Vita.
Vita 3, I guess.
It would be 2030, so 10-year lifespan. It would be just
Yeah,
about
somewhere
coming
around
out.
there.
But it doesn't come out till 2040. That's how
And
that
then
works.
it would only power on that receptacle when you wanted to use it and for as long as you wanted it. And you would also have the option of pay-as-you-go electricity. So it's not on all the time. However, it does create a situation where you're micromanaging every device you have, which can be pretty obnoxious unless somehow in the management app you can set some parameters so that, maybe you don't have to do redundant, monotonous tasks every time you want to watch TV.
It's Sony. There's no chance of that.
Yeah, and
It would have to be a whole new Sony.
so if like The Voice or any of these things are still going on, then I imagine the viewership's going to be a lot less. Maybe that's the way that we end television. I don't know.
Cord
Maybe that's
cutting.
how cable providers fall.
I'm on board with
Sony creates this
Sony is personally responsible for cable and satellite failing.
that. Codename Felicia is the entire plan to take out cable companies. Done.
I don't doubt it,
They won't, because they'll put words on the screen. You won't know what they say.
So you would either be able to pay because with the RFID technology in there, they would be able to identify you somehow. I'm ignoring you. Yeah.
Mhm.
They'd be able to identify you somehow. But the interesting thing is that Felica technology is supposed to be able to work over existing wires. Oh, Felicia. The Felicia technology is supposed to be able to work over existing wires in your home.
I like
Which-
the little accent he picked up there at the end.
It's supposed to be.
Well, But
Them
they
things
raised an
there.
interesting thing with me. I was definitely going to suggest to
Gross.
them that they become part of the Home Grid Forum standard for G.HN technology, which certainly sounds like maybe what it is. So definitely going to suggest that to them, and maybe we could get them on board, because Sony is actually working with a couple of Japanese manufacturers on bringing this out of the conceptual sort of prototype stage. Now, they kind of are thinking that anything to do with this at all in real life would probably even be about 10 years out from now, which seems kind of unrealistic to me. I actually think it would be a lot further than that. But yeah, that's how Sony sees the future. Micromanaging the power for devices in your home or airport, wherever you are, paying for it as you go. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think we'd really end up saving a lot of power
No.
on a per house basis, or perhaps like a per country basis?
No.
Would it be convenient?
I want to
No.
know.
Nope, definitely not.
I want to know when the
was rhetorical.
501c3s, like the animal societies, start hoarding up the kittens and charging $25 per kitten.
I think that's what they are now.
How many kilowatts is that per hour?
So besides cable and satellite companies, they're going to take out the
Straight-
SPCA. and,
No, straight-
No,
the
they're
straight
gonna
kitten
make
bubble.
they're gonna make the SPCA into like a
The
warlord.
Yeah, the
Incinerator.
wealthiest society ever.
Well,
from stray kittens. It
it
solves
would-
a lot of problems.
It would be
does.
an alternative option to putting the animals down.
Alternative fuel. Fossil fuel, actually. That's how that works.
Well,
Pre-fossil.
Pre-fossil stage. It's
They
more
would,
renewable.
they
that
would have
way.
had to have been gone for a little while.
They must breed once before they can be used.
Wow.
It continues the process.
Indeed.
So
This is all in a paper. It's in a documented paper. We are not making this up.
It actually
it
is a little
it is
frightening.
actually. So I don't know. I think Sony's maybe being a little hallucinogenic. Maybe they just had
Sony? No.
they just had some PR money that they were wanted to burn on some asinine futuristic video.
Well, they finally turned a profit on the PlayStation.
Look at that.
They had to burn that money somewhere.
You go,
Hey,
this can't be right.
The numbers aren't red anymore.
Nintendo says this is not enough money.
Oh,
We
that
gotta
can't be
burn it.
good. We got to get them back in the red.
At
It kind of like someone went to Jack Tritton and said, "Hey, remember when you told us to spend like a lot of money on making a video for this prototype technology?
No.
That's never gonna come true."
Red's
no.
got to be good. It's a
Oh.
pretty color.
Well, take a look at this.
Ha
Yeah, so that's probably how
that
it
was
went.
a wee bit creepy.
That's probably how it went down. Now, if you want to see the video yourself, and you do, because you do, all you gotta do is go to F5Live/the upstream, or
just like that.
Yeah.
F5 Live / the upstream.
F5Live.tv/
The upstream.
the upstream,
Boom.
or hit radio, then click show notes. It's well worth the watch. I would just go do it.
Boom.
Boom.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Good news is if you go to f5live.tv, it'll already take you to radio.
What?
Oh,
It's one less step.
That's a bonus.
One less click to click on the Microsoft Store,
See-
or to click on the guy that we're going to talk to in just a little bit.
Who are we going to talk to in just a little bit?
You'll see.
Ooh.
You want to try and redeem yourself from last week, John?
I actually kind of don't, but I'll do it anyway.
Do it anyway.
So now we're going to kick it over to Avram Pilch, the online editorial director of Laptop Magazine. Avram, are you there?
I am!
Oh, wow. And loud as ever. We love
Every
it.
time. I love it.
Like, does that disturb your wife or your cats? Do they get scared when you do that?
They do. I try to do it when the cats are out of the room, and my wife is definitely disturbed.
Like the band?
Oh,
Oh, she is very disturbed by my loud outbursts.
Got it. Let them know who you are, Abram.
Let her
I am
know?
the online editorial director, as you say, of Laptop Magazine. You can check out all
As I
the
say.
latest mobile news that we have at laptopmag.com. Read my weekly column at laptopmag.com/geeksgeek, and follow me on Twitter at @geekinchief.
For you, it seems like it just doesn't stop from one convention to another, to the antiquated BlackBerry conference, now over to Mobile World Congress. That's coming up soon, isn't it? What do we have in store?
Yes. So a week from today, I'm going to be in Barcelona, and that is where you see one of the biggest mobile shows of the year. You could sort of say it's like the CES, but just for phones and tablets. And we expect to see some really exciting new technologies unveiled there. I think this year it's going to be very much about a couple of things. The first of which is quad core. I think we're going to see our first quad core phones at the show.
nice.
I mean, everyone's been talking about Tegra 3. At last year's show, I got the sneak peek at Tegra 3, which at that point was called Kal-El, because as you may know, NVIDIA likes to name their chips after superheroes' identities. So I think after Kal-El, the next one is Wayne for Bruce Wayne, or Logan for Wolverine. So they had, as you may have seen, the Asus ePad Transformer Prime came out in November, and that had that was the first tablet to have a Tegra 3 quad-core processor. We haven't seen anything else coming with the Tegra 3 yet, but the promise has been that you would see Tegra 3 going into phones, and I think that we will see Tegra 3 going into phones. The rumor is that both LG and HTC are going to be coming out with quad-core phones, probably releasing them at the show. So lots of power in your pocket at this show. And then I would expect that we're going to see more quad-core tablets as well. besides the ePad Transformer Prime. For one, we hear that Asus is going to come out with sort of a less expensive tablet than the Transformer Prime called the Transformer Pad TF300T. That's the rumor anyway. That is going to also have a Tegra 3 processor but cost a little less. And I would not at all be surprised to finally see Qualcomm and TI showing off their quad-core chips at some point, hopefully at the show as well.
So they're gonna stick with the Transformer name, huh?
Until they're sued into submission. Because yes, it's if for listeners who don't know, I believe it is Hasbro, the company that makes the Transformers,
Yes.
that is trying to sue the pants off of Asus over their use of the Transformer name and Transformer imagery in some of their
and the word
advertisements.
Prime. That didn't make it better.
No, it made it worse.
Indeed.
Because the original Transformer came out in, what was it, April or so of the last year, and the whole gimmick was that you could attach the keyboard dock to it, and it would seem like a notebook, so it would fold up in a clamshell design, which was kind of neat, and that's why they called it a Transformer, because it was more than meets the eye. It could be a notebook or it could be a tablet. But once they added Prime to the end of it, it's like, what's the next one going to be? Transformer Starscream or something like that? The next one's probably going to come just like the Michael Bay movie. We'll probably see someone talking in some kind of horrible foreign accent when you boot it up. I mean,
And then it'll explode.
and
Into
then
Megan
it'll
Fox.
explode. I mean, it's
Every
it
time
is
you-
a little bit of a ripoff. It does seem.
Every
to
time
be.
you send an email, it just says Autobots roll out.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit. It does seem a bit derivative. However, if you've used the product, there's no Transformer imagery on it or anything like that. But some of the Asus videos that they've released, which show like a digital world, look a little bit like Cybertron. So, look. If they come out with a Megan Fox edition of it, I would be much more likely to buy it than the Shia LaBeouf edition.
I see this, Avram, as the most optimal or prime way for marketing team to really take advantage of this.
Yeah, no question. I mean, the idea is that it's the first tablet to have a quad-core processor. And indeed, right now, the Transformer Prime actually is the best Android tablet you can buy. So,
Yeah.
I would
He's got
expect.
his own dance music.
Oh, it's my wife answering the call from her mom. Yeah, I would say that we're going to see a lot of competitors to that with more quad-core processors. It's just a matter of time, and I think this is going to be the time. And it's also going to be the time when we see Intel really pushing its Medfield chip, which they pushed a lot at CES. They showed off the first Intel-powered smartphone, the Lenovo K800. And the Lenovo IdeaTab K2110, which are both China-only devices. But we expect that some companies that come out with devices in America are going to unveil Medfield-powered phones and or tablets running Android at Mobile World Congress. The rumor is that Motorola could be unveiling a Medfield-powered Droid in Barcelona, although Motorola denies that they're having any press events, so that would be a little strange, but not unheard of. I think the real question still remains whether Intel's processor can catch up with the competition. I think that remains an open question, considering that it only has a single core while everyone else is rolling into quad core. So we really have to dig into that when we get one and test it. But one of the cool features that Intel is pushing, and we see others pushing as well, is wireless display. I expect that we're going to see a lot more demos of people wirelessly streaming games and movies from their phones and tablets at Mobile World Congress as well, which could be kind of neat.
You know, it was crazy. I didn't realize my HTC Resound that I ended up picking up had a wireless technology in it to do the same thing. You put it into dock mode, and you can share pictures, movies, and music from your device to any compatible TV. And I had no idea that my TV was also accepting of that technology.
Which is it, DLNA?
Yeah.
Yeah, DLNA is pretty, it's obviously a lot of phones have DLNA, but I think the beauty of some of these other technologies is that you could actually use them for gaming because they're low latency. So I don't know if Intel's wireless display will be good enough for gaming on your phone, although I'm sure they'll give it a shot. But at CES, I saw a Texas Instrument demo that was blew my mind, where they were showing how their OMAP processor, when paired with the appropriate set-top box, could actually show a different picture on the TV than it does on the tablet. So you could use the tablet as a controller. So they showed how you could sort of play like a dogfight game, where you're controlling a plane, and the tablet's touchscreen actually becomes the controller. And so what you see on the tablet screen and what you see on the output screen are completely different. And I think that kind of thing is really cool. And I think we're going to see some more of that shown. Maybe we'll see NVIDIA show something like that. They haven't yet. Or Qualcomm show something like that. I think that's something that a lot of the mobile processor makers are eager to show off is more wireless convergence like that.
The question is, Avram, what are you excited to see, number one? Number two, are you going on the bull run, the running of the bulls? And number three, how many instances of the cha-cha will you be doing inside the convention hall?
I will be doing 3 instances of the cha-cha inside the convention hall. I will be doing one for every mobile processor that I see. I will do the TI OMAP cha-cha. I will do the Tegra Tango, and I will do the Qualcomm breakdance. Ooh. And if I see a new Medfield phone, I will do the electric Medfield slide.
Could do the salsa. I mean, that's an option too,
Yes, that is quite possible.
Single core salsa for Intel. Scott just pinned that one down.
I think that may be the forbidden dance. I'm most excited about what is going to happen on Wednesday of that week, which is Windows 8. So that is kind of adjacent to the show in that it's not technically part of Mobile World Congress, but they're doing it for the attendees. Microsoft is holding an event February 29th where they're going to release the consumer preview of Windows 8. We all know this is when it's coming, and I can't wait to check it out and see if it's good enough to be my everyday operating system when I get back. And I imagine that throughout the show, we're going to see Windows 8 tablets. Quite a few of them. Maybe we'll see some with Windows 8 on ARM. Maybe we'll get to even play with them and see how good it is. Because every Windows 8 on ARM thing that we saw at CES was under glass or was just showing the home screen. So I'm really excited to see, is this operating system really good enough to be the everyday operating system? I know when Windows 7 came out and I got the beta that I just got rid of Vista entirely, although that wasn't hard to do. And said I'm using this from now on. I'm kind of excited to see whether Windows 8 is really good enough to use every day, and what kind of environment it's going to provide. I know we've seen the preview, but I think seeing the actual working operating system in the consumer preview mode is going to be awesome.
I have been using the developer preview on a machine here, and I'm even in the rough state that it's in, I like it.
I think it's going to be great. I'm a little disappointed that the Windows 8 on ARM sounds like it's not going to have much of a desktop if you want it, because it seemed like such a neat idea that you could actually create a notebook that was running with ARM and have it compete with low-cost Windows notebooks, low-cost x86 notebooks. We'll have to see what Windows 8 on ARM looks like, because that could be, is that good enough to be someone's everyday operating system, or is it just really a tablet operating system? I'm kind of excited to see not only the Metro interface, which we've all kind of gotten used to looking at now, and it's hard to decide whether I love it or hate it, but I'm kind of interested to see what kind of performance improvements are we going to see. Are we going to see faster booting? Are we going to see some neat history features? What are the things that are actually going to make people's lives easier rather than just putting a new coat of paint on the interface?
Well, Microsoft has said that any machine capable of running Windows 7 should be able to run Windows 8 with speed improvements. So that is good to hear. I look forward to seeing it in reality.
You'll have to let us know when you are over there what cool things have Windows 8 on it and how they actually operate, because all we get to see is, like we said right now, the developer preview and then the consumer preview on the 29th. Avram will have to do something since you'll be on a plane to Barcelona at this time next week. We'll have to record something or get a hold of you a different way. But it was a pleasure speaking with you. We wish you a safe trip over there.
Thanks so much. Always a pleasure.
Don't get deported. Enjoy that.
If I do, I get shipped back for free, right?
I think so. Is that how
Indeed.
that works? On a very slow boat. From what I hear.
But but think about the bargain.
Indeed. Indeed.
It all comes down to your time.
Hey, Avram, let them know how to get a hold of you one last time. We'll let you go.
So you can check out all of our mobile news at laptopmag.com. Check out my weekly Geeks Geek column at laptopmag.com/geeksgeek. And you can follow me on Twitter at @geekinchief.
Thanks, Avram. We'll see you next week in some way, shape, or form.
Definitely. Thank you, guys.
Have a good one.
Take care.
Love having him on the show. It's great.
I don't know. Does Spain extradite fugitives to the U.S.? Like, is that a treaty that we have?
Depends on
Policy?
how
whatever it is.
It depends on how the closed captioning spells out Avram. We'll have to see. I'm not sure.
Wow. Okay.
Oh
well,
my goodness. Do you
I'm
want
a
to
little
give?
jealous.
You want to give the
I'm
promo a shot, or do you want me to do it?
You know what? You can have fun this week.
All right. So if you like us and you like what we do, you want us to do what we do where you want us to do it, whether it be your home, church, I think post office is in the list now.
Library.
Yeah, library.
Yeah.
And there was something odd. I don't know. Let's say Dairy Queen.
Circle K men's room. I don't
Are
know.
we sponsored by them now?
No.
Cool. We will be. DQ, sir.
I'm sorry, they did change.
Grill and chill.
If you're interested in any of our production services, you can contact us at contact@plugits.com. And Nick taking a drink usually indicates that it's time for him to talk a little bit.
or beat. I don't know. Someone. I don't know.
Yeah, and beat. So let's let him talk some more with this week's Weekly Upstream.
Welcome.
Plugins Live presenting the Upstream.
You mean to tell me you did that promo without a script, on the spot, on the fly, and had no problem with it? What a concept. Thanks,
That's correct.
guys. Thanks, guys. This is Nick, and I'm here keeping you plugged into the top stories for the week of February 19th, 2012. This is your Weekly Upstream. For the past 20 years, Microsoft has used a flag to denote its Windows line of products, but didn't used to be that way, and it won't be that way much longer. This week, they have announced the end of an era, as they have redesigned the Windows logo by returning it to its origins. The new logo features live tiles, the foundation for the Metro interface, arranged to form a window. Check out the new logo and compare it to the old one at f5live.tv/theupstream. This week, we also learned of an interesting story that is on the same strange level as that of the Brazil arriving to the PS2 party about 9 years late. Panasonic has announced that it has stopped producing VCRs in Japan. Until inventory depletes, however, sales will continue on VCRs in the country. So for the VCR, may it rewind in peace and join the ranks of the Walkman and 8-track player. The Fair Labor Association has taken on the task of auditing Foxconn's Apple manufacturing facility this week. But instead of actually going through a process and conduct a complete investigation, however, the head of the organization has already stated that things are probably fine inside the workplace and the injuries are more than likely due to boredom and not anything else. FLA's president, Arent van Heerden, has said that the problems, like the suicides and the other injuries, are because of the monotony. Quote, "The problems are not the intensity and burnout and pressure cooker environment you have in a garment factory. It's more of a function of monotony, of boredom, of alienation, perhaps." How could one make those comments yet have not finished a thorough investigation? We'll keep you posted on the final conclusions of the investigation, if a conclusion ever arrives. Nintendo's about to get another plus, and this time, it's not their own product. We'll talk about that more in this week's DRM Not Included. So for all these stories and more, keep yourself plugged into f5live.tv/theupstream all week long, or click that RSS button to follow the news as it happens on your phone, computer, or Zune. I'm Nick, and we'll be back next week with more of the top stories from across the world. This has been your weekly Upstream. Back to you guys.
Transfer complete. Goodbye.
2 for 2. This week's Extra Life section on F5 Live is proudly powered by Shockwave.
Shockwave.
Play games?
I'm not going to say that
Like
one.
the Snoop collage.
Thank you.
Snoop.
Oh,
Like defend your nuts.
that was the
Hello.
one I wasn't going to say.
Hello, venue.
Oh, interesting. There are a lot of flowers.
And the Daily Diff, Scott's favorite game.
Just
And
not
Monkey
this one.
Quest.
I think he's addicted.
Addicted to Monkey Quest. Play now, free 10-day trial exclusivity to my users and viewers and listeners of the like at f5live.tv. Click in the link.
In the center.
That's what happens when you say the wrong word.
From what I understand,
Or-
Monkey Quest is actually supposed to be a really good game.
Is it?
Yeah.
I quest monkeys all day long.
It's a Nickelodeon partnership for them.
Ah,
See, there used to be this cartoon show called like Monkey Magic or something like that was kind of cool.
There was a song on Pump It Up called Monkey Magic.
really?
Yes.
None of those things are probably related.
Probably not.
But there is a topic related to Sony that we're going to go ahead and discuss right now. Continued Sony optimism. But
That's weird.
this time it's about the PS Vita release in the US and how successful it's going to be. So,
It's all those black numbers have got them screwed up.
Got it.
yeah, they just don't know how to deal with the actually not running losses.
Yeah, it has changed their culture.
So Sony's making money and Nintendo's losing money. So they're both like on opposite ends of the spectrum, which is a little bit of, it screws with the mind a little bit. But Nick and I had a chance to mess around with the Vita in person
You tried to take
at
one home.
CES. I tried to steal it. I tried to use Jedi mind tricks on the guy
Didn't work.
to let me take it home, and it didn't work.
I don't believe Worm is a Jedi name.
Oh, it could be. Anyway, you'll find out later. My force powers are strong. But anyway, well, now I'm totally thrown off.
Continue before I take
So-
away your PSP Go.
I was talking to the guy, trying to use my Jedi mind tricks and stuff on him, which he didn't find amusing at all.
I did.
Like at all. He was actually fairly upset, which just made it even better. But we're like 9 months. We're an entire pregnancy past E3 2011.
Indeed.
And Sony has still not given us
Birth.
the Vita baby.
Right. So it's been a long time. You know,
Vita, baby.
back when they introduced it, it went over really well. You know, we saw they fixed a lot of the concerns that we had with the device. It could possibly end up being pretty cool.
They got rid of the media bar.
Yeah, the X-Cross media bar system is gone. A lot of good things. And then
That's a win in and of itself.
and then they said, "Oh, you can expect it like, you know, holiday season 2011." And then not going to happen. February 15th.
At least not for us.
February 15th for pre-orders in the US and Europe. February 22nd for everybody else.
Aw.
Past Valentine's Day, so they couldn't even kind of make up for it by giving you a little Valentine's Day treat. But that's kind of how Sony is. The good news is, though,
February 22nd is this week.
it is. It's coming up. And the other good news is that despite a good, but not anything special as far as sales for Japan. I don't know, didn't actually give any numbers. But Sony executive said that it went over well. Nothing to write home about, but it was accepted. Partially, he mentioned that it could have been the Vita is going to release here in Europe with 25 titles on the same day. Pretty awesome. Uncharted Golden Abyss is going to be one of them. That game pretty much stole the show as far as Vita was concerned. At E3 2011, we got to see a lot of the things that a lot of the new hardware in the Vita was for. For example, it's got the front-facing touchscreen. It's got the back touchpad, which is interesting. You still have your analog sticks, but you have your accelerometer and your 6-axis. So with Uncharted, we got a little bit of a taste of how game developers could possibly integrate those controls into the Vita.
Sorry, he's making mouth noises.
I was tasting.
So,
Rayman Origins.
So if you had a mobile version of Lair, you could
shake it, baby.
Beat the dragon when it misbehaved.
Or you could just not play Lair at all for any reason ever. That's probably better, but theoretically, yes. So a lot of the games, like first-person shooters, action-adventure games, which are a bit more popular here, are going to be releasing with the Vita. So that's one reason why they're optimistic. A couple more reasons is some things that we've actually discussed a little bit on the show before. And that is, Sony's traditional way of doing things by ignoring the problems and giving it more horsepower, so to speak. The hardware specs on the Vita are pretty fantastic. It's
certainly better than any of the PSPs.
Yes, it certainly it certainly packs a punch, and the graphics are pretty unreal. So that's one reason. In traditional Sony,
they're actually pretty real.
Yeah, pretty real,
as opposed to Unreal.
Oh,
Tournament 3 engine.
I hate you. Shut up.
I think the original Game Boy was pretty unreal.
Although that engine was pretty awesome.
My Pokédex looked great.
Oh my goodness.
And you're done. So, aside from the obvious mechanics that have been souped up, another thing that they were talking about was the connectivity and functionality of their new operating system, which is based off Android. So, in the game, while you're playing a game, it's no longer just a game. They have a live area where if you start a game, you can actually get like a Twitter feed-ish thing where they will display
Twitter fetish. That's what I
your
heard.
own stats in the game. Twitter fetish?
I heard Twitter fetus.
I think that's called bird watching. I don't know. So I'm going to ignore that and continue talking. Or try to.
I'm tagging the show Twitter fetus.
Twitter fetus.
Just saying. Go on.
Okay.
I will too.
What the hell was I just talking about?
Twitter fetus.
Twitter.
Oh, Twitter fetus. So you're going to have like a Twitter fetus type live area, what they call it, where it'll display your stats in the game. And also things that for your friends that have the game are doing, challenges. You'll be able to manage DLC content there. So the whole connectivity of the device is very social oriented. A lot more interactive than it was. So that's kind of cool. It's something that they're excited about. And the third thing, I can't honestly remember. No. The third thing, there was another thing, and I...
That was the third thing.
No, there's another thing. There's a fourth thing.
That would be a fourth thing.
I don't...
No more X-Cross.
Yeah,
Live area.
Yeah. Keep going.
Android OS.
Yep, keep going.
25 titles. You already got that one.
Mm-hmm.
DLC content from the live area.
No, I already talked about them all. I don't know
You're
what,
good.
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we're all
You got them, baby.
Okay.
I was say, those
Vita,
were all
baby.
the things that were in the article,
Yeah,
so...
you're fine, man.
I was like, I swear, I think I created something in my
You
mind.
did.
And
We
then
got your back, dog.
It was a Twitter fetus, is what it was.
That's what it was.
I visualized it.
You created that in my mind. I've got a logo.
I don't have a Twitter fetish, so that's good.
I've got a logo and everything started.
Hello, friend.
So, yeah, I guess we'll find out if their optimism is well deserved Or,
Sure, we'll find out pretty soon, actually.
Yeah. So that'll be an interesting thing.
Wednesday, give or take.
If,
Or
if anyone in
last
the chat
Wednesday.
room has a Vita
From last week's pre-order.
or will be getting one, why? What do you? Well, not condescending. Why?
Why do you have it? Why did you want it?
Why
What
did you
games are
want it?
playing?
And what games are you most looking forward to?
Were you sold on the idea that you could play games from
Like Monopoly.
from the Vita and then move them to the PlayStation 3 because there's like 4 titles that can only do that? It was the same problem we have with the PSP. They touted that there would be a lot more. We haven't seen that yet. I'm hoping to see more of that because that's kind of the point.
Oh, you mean the fact that the PSP didn't have that capability hardware-wise?
Yeah,
Oh.
even though they said they could.
That prevented companies from doing it? Oh,
Oh, it's just a minor thing.
what a concept.
It was in black. They got confused.
But that's not the only thing happening with consoles right now.
No.
We'll hear about more of that in just a second.
Hey, this week's DRM not included on F5 Live is proudly powered by SiriusXM Satellite Radio, John.
SiriusXM Satellite Radio. Hey, guess what?
What?
President's Day is coming up,
Oh!
and you can celebrate it all week long.
Boom.
With purple text.
Yeah, and
Why
up to 50% off radios that let you listen wherever you want. Because remember, it's not just about your car anymore. It's about the plane, the train, and the sidewalk. You can do it anywhere you want.
The rain in Spain.
And right now you can... Thank you. Right now you can also enjoy free shipping, so you really have no reason not to get one.
Boom.
Go to F5 Live TV.
Nope.
.tv. .tv.
Whoa.
So close. F5Live.tv and click the link.
In the center.
I like that. That'll work.
I love serious deals.
Best radio on radio.
Besides
Us.
refreshing
Enjoy that.
technology radio. Doesn't work.
Nope. So, other console news.
Yes.
Nintendo Wii is getting a plus. Not Motion Plus, not Plus Plus, not Wii Plus, Sports Plus, and
C++.
Hulu Plus. There you go. C Sharp. And Hulu Plus.
Yay.
On February 16th, Nintendo inked a deal with Hulu that will put the Wii on the same platform as the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
They probably inked the deal earlier, before the software was written.
Indeed.
It's a lot of work to do to then
Then
go,
have
good? No.
have the FCC go. Nah,
Plug the CD in,
it's
you're
not
fine.
not gonna work.
$4 billion.
Stream movies and TVs right from the console with Hulu Plus. Took a while, but they have it. Good news. Free app download from the
Hooray.
Wii Channel Shop. No CD necessary.
Yay for free.
The important thing here is that the 3DS will get it too.
Even better.
That's what I'm excited about.
In 3D.
3DS had no.
No.
3DS had Netflix.
Yes.
Now has 3DS.
It
Or now has Hulu Plus.
3DS now has 3DS. Yes.
It still has Netflix.
Yeah, but it had it already.
Yes.
It
And
did not have Hulu Plus.
That is very true.
Now it has Hulu Plus too.
You couldn't
Which
even
is
get to
why
it from the
we're
browser, which is
having
sad.
this conversation. Yeah.
That's weird too, by the way. You should just have Flash built in. Do it to it. But no, Hulu Plus on the 3DS, on the Wii. Now you have more options. They're really pushing still more faith in the Wii. It still exists. It's still the console. It's still the thing. That's good. But then more importantly, they've really pushed that the 3DS is something you bring with you everywhere.
Right.
No matter what you do, you're bringing the 3DS with you. The Street Pass minigame you guys were on every single day in Vegas.
It's true.
Nintendo has a way of making things that addicting and fun at the same time.
Even being as stupid as that thing is,
Indeed.
it is so dumb.
So now you have Hulu Plus on there too.
And I love it.
Another video streaming service. So if you didn't have Netflix or you didn't want the content that's available on Netflix, for you watch a lot of Hulu,
Watch a lot of Hulu and a lot of Netflix.
right? But for your TV series, is like The Office,
Yes.
like Parks and Rec, you're
Yep.
on Hulu Plus.
I do keep up with that on Hulu.
Now you can use it from your 3DS.
It's true.
How
it's very exciting. Do we have a release date?
Soon. Later this year.
Oh.
Probably
Nice.
announce it at E3.
They will probably say, hey, guess what's in the store right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Hulu
go there
Plus.
now, you can download
They
this.
turn it on as the conference is happening, like they did last year.
We've seen them do it before, yeah.
So I'm excited. It's
Yeah,
good.
me too.
It's good for Nintendo. See how well it actually happened.
They're catching up with the big boys now.
Yeah. And it's something that kind of tied people over between another Wii U announcement.
Yeah.
I think that's how that goes.
You mean the announcement that we've given up? We're not going to release it.
Something like that.
They're gonna show us. They're gonna like show us photos. They're gonna hold up at E3 this year of the Wii U and be like, "It's coming. We're running out of money, but working on it." We heard that Clear got like a lot of money, so we're kind of hitting them up.
We're trying to do that whole
See
thing.
if they'll give us a hand.
That's our show.
A right hand.
Yeah.
It
Tip the
is.
hand.
Yeah.
Huh. Things you can't unsee.
Yep.
we were doing it while you after you said Sony has tipped their hand
That's what we did.
How do you do that?
Enjoy that.
like
So-
this, and then Nick went like this, and it didn't get better from that.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's not tipping. That's just like flamboyant thrusting of the wrist. Had to
So-
specify for the people that can't see us.
That's flapping.
It's like Twitter.
For now.
Like a fetus in the wind.
Stay tuned for the post plug. F5live.tv/join us. Facebook, iTunes, Zune, F5live.tv, Ustream, TuneIn, Roku, Foxy, Radio Time. I got this. We're everywhere, baby.
Some
TPN.tv,
service we don't like. I don't remember why or who.
TalkShoe.
Tune in?
Nope, not them.
Nope.
Soon,
Okay.
probably not Ustream. Damn your 10 gig limit. We can call them out on that, right?
Sure.
Someone needs to.
I don't think they care.
It's okay. I can pay $99 a month for 50 gig for the year. I'm sorry, forever.
Forever, period. 50 gig.
That makes sense.
Huh.
Screw you, Ustream. Fix that stuff. Stuff right there. So, on behalf of the staff that's not here, I'm Nick.
I'm Scott.
And I'm John.
And Alante's absent 2 times in a row.
I know.
Which means he gets to lick the floor on his way in. We're doing a Foxconn
I'll
punishment.
say, what are we, Foxconn?
Awful. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Peace and chicken grease.
Ciao.
Go with honor, friend.
It's the Sunwell.
Those darn